The seller won't tell you this, but with just a quick glance, you can tell whether an orange is sweet or sour. Can you believe it? Summer is coming, and this is also the time when all kinds of fruits start being sold everywhere, especially oranges, a fruit that is not only eye-catching and delicious, but also rich in nutrients. But among the dozens of orange varieties like green-skinned oranges, sugar oranges, honey oranges, and seedless oranges, have you ever accidentally bought oranges with thick peels, very little juice, and an extremely sour taste? Many people, when going to the market, often choose oranges based on feeling. Whichever ones look nice, they pick, or whichever ones are cheap, they buy. But in the end, they bring them home only to feel disappointed. That just means you're picking oranges, by luck. So, how can you choose the right orange? Truly sweet, full of juice, with thin skin, and absolutely irresistible. Today, Tracy will share with you some very simple yet effective tips for picking oranges, based on real-life experience shared by longtime orange growers. Believe me, just by remembering a few small details, you'll be choosing oranges like a true expert. Let's get started right now. Tip 1. Look at the color of the orange peel. Do you remember when Tracy shared a video about how to choose delicious apples or pineapples just by looking at the color of the fruit? It's the same with oranges. Looking at the peel color is one way to choose a fresh and tasty orange. When you place them side by side, you'll notice that some oranges have a deep yellow peel with an even color that looks very appealing, while others have a lighter yellow color, are patchy, or have green areas. Don't choose oranges based on guesswork. Oranges with a deep yellow color, evenly spread all over the peel, are the ones that have absorbed enough sunlight and usually grow on the outer part of the tree, where they receive the most light. Because they were fully sunbathed, these oranges are usually sweeter, juicier, and more fragrant. On the contrary, oranges that are pale, blotchy, or not fully yellow usually develop in shaded spots, hidden from the sun. Since they get less sunlight, they accumulate less sugar, which makes them less sweet, dull in flavor, and not very appealing. See? Just one quick glance at the peel, and you can pick a good orange. You can even apply this tip to many other types of fruit, and it works pretty well too. Tip 2. Choose by the shape of the orange. When you're out shopping at the market or grocery store, you'll see all kinds of oranges in different shapes. Some are perfectly round like a ball, while others are slightly longer and oval-shaped. And if you take a closer look, you'll notice there's an interesting difference. According to longtime orange growers, there's a simple saying that's easy to remember. Long oranges are sweet, round oranges are not. And it really holds true. But do you know why longer oranges tend to be sweeter than round ones? It's because those slightly long oval-shaped oranges usually have better developed vascular systems inside, which help them absorb more water and nutrients during their growth. These are typically the oranges with thin skin, full flesh, juicy segments, and a rich, sweet flavor. Take one bite and the juice bursts out, fragrant and sweet down your throat. On the other hand, those perfectly round and shinier oranges may come from high-yield varieties that are lower in quality. Many of them grow quickly with heavy fertilizers, which often makes them bland and dry. These fruits may look pretty on the outside, but inside they're likely to have thick peels, small segments, little juice, and a sour taste. I once bought a batch like that, and after tasting them, I not only felt it was a waste of money, but I also lost all appetite. So, just by glancing at the shape of the fruit, you can instantly avoid those oranges that look good but disappoint when eaten. Remember this simple little trick, and you'll be picking out oranges like a pro in no time. Tip 3. Feel with your hands. Weight and firmness. Don't just rely on your eyes. When choosing oranges, use your hands to feel them. This is a simple but highly effective step to help you assess the quality of the orange. Of these oranges, Choose two of similar size to compare. First, pick up the orange and feel how heavy it is. Oranges that feel heavy and solid in your hand usually contain more juice. That's a clear sign of a juicy, fresh orange. Juicy oranges also mean they're packed with vitamin C, carbohydrates, and minerals that are great for your health, especially during times when your immune system needs an extra boost. Juicy oranges are rich in antioxidants like flavonoids, which help protect the heart, lower blood pressure, reduce cholesterol, and support your overall well-being. Next, gently press your finger against the peel to check for elasticity. If the peel feels moderately soft and has good bounce back, it means the orange is at its peak of freshness. These oranges usually have thin skin, full flesh, and are bursting with juice. Exactly what you want in a delicious orange. If the fruit feels too hard, it could be underripe or have a thick peel. When you eat it, the inside may be dry, lacking juice, and taste sour. On the other hand, if the peel feels too soft and sinks in easily, there's a good chance the orange has been sitting too long and has lost moisture and nutrients, which means it won't taste as good anymore. So, don't just look. Take a few extra seconds to feel the fruit. It'll help you pick out much better oranges. Tip 4. Look at the orange stem. When picking good oranges, there's one detail you definitely shouldn't overlook, and that's the stem. Just by looking at it, you can tell whether the orange is still fresh or not. Here's how to tell. If you see that the stem is dried out, moldy, shriveled, or has even fallen off completely, that usually means the orange has lost a good amount of moisture and the flesh inside is likely dry. On the other hand, if the orange still has a fresh green stem, or even better, a leaf still attached, and the cut on the stem looks slightly moist, that's a great sign. These oranges were likely picked just a day or two ago, so they're still very fresh, with soft flesh and lots of juice inside. Fresh oranges are a fantastic natural source of vitamin C. They help strengthen your immune system, improve skin health, slow down aging, support iron absorption, and help prevent colds and flu, especially during the winter or when the weather changes. That's why it's so important to choose fresh, juicy oranges to make sure you're getting the most nutrients they have to offer. If you see these on the shelf, grab them right away. Tip 5. Look at the navel of the orange. Besides the shape, the navel of the orange, the small indented spot at the bottom of the fruit, can reveal a lot of helpful information. Many people only look at the outer peel when buying oranges, but if you know how to check the navel, you'll be able to choose sweeter, juicier, and more worthwhile oranges every time. According to traditional experience passed down from farmers, oranges are commonly categorized into two types: male oranges and female oranges. Oranges with small, tight, and closed navels that aren't cracked open are called male oranges. These are the ones you should pick. Since they don't have a second baby orange growing inside, all the nutrients go straight into the main flesh, making them sweeter, juicier, and more satisfying. In contrast, oranges with large or cracked navels are referred to as female oranges because they often have a second small orange growing inside, known as a baby fruit. This baby orange absorbs some of the nutrients from the main orange, which causes the whole fruit to be drier, less sweet, and overall not as delicious as you'd expect. So next time you're choosing oranges, don't forget to flip them over and take a close look at that tiny navel. It's a small detail, but a golden sign that can help you pick the perfect orange. Once you've picked fresh and delicious oranges, if you can't eat them all at once, be sure to store them carefully. Here's a handy tip from Tracy to help keep your oranges fresh longer at home. Store them in the driest, coolest, and most well-ventilated spot in your house. If you buy a lot at once, you can put them in the fridge's crisper drawer, wrapped in a paper bag or a thin cloth, and they can stay fresh for 1 to 2 weeks. Oh, and one more thing to avoid. Don't wash the oranges before storing them, because the moisture can cause mold to form on the peel and shorten their shelf life. To sum it up, to choose an orange that's truly sweet and juicy, just remember these 5 simple points: dark yellow skin, long orange, heavy to hold, green stem, small navel, and elastic when pressed. It might sound complicated, but once you get used to it, it only takes a few seconds to pick the perfect orange every time. If you found today's tips helpful, don't forget to like, save this video, and share it with your family and friends. And don't hesitate to follow the channel so you won't miss out on even more handy tips every day. I have so many kitchen secrets I want to share with you. I always love reading your comments, so if you have any questions or want to share your thoughts, please leave them below the video. Let's stay connected right here.